Welcome, 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 everyone. Our apologies, my apologies for the delay. 100% my fault. A lot of chess, a lot of streaming going on right now, but here we are again with yet another state of Chess.com. I know you've been waiting, Forex Trader, and I appreciate that. We are going to have a good show, a couple hours of diving into the heavy-hitting topics that we feel are kind of most critical for our member base and often for the chess community. We've used this show very often as kind of an opportunity for us to just connect with all of you, the audience. So if you're watching this on YouTube, on Twitch, on Chess.com TV, we will be reading your chat. I will personally try to make mental note of great comments if I can't answer them. But at the end of the show, we will always have a Q&A, as you can already see. And shout out to BJH for the 42 months resub. Our moderators get special shout outs when they do things like that. Thank you for all the work you do, BJ. But as you see there, the Q&A is always something that kind of brings this show to a close. So if you've got a good question or if you asked it and it didn't get read, you can save it for when we officially get to that portion where my focus will be 100% on all of you, the chatters, and we will try to answer every question we can in the best possible fashion that we can do it. So we are here. We've got a lot of stuff to get into. It's Q2 review time. One of the things that's most important about this show is to maybe put a little bit of a spotlight, remind all of you of some of the things we've released over the last few months, some of the changes made to the site, maybe some improvements that you didn't know of that might lead to a little bit of organic discussion already. We're going to move into fair play and also talk specifically about a topic that isn't actually related to fair play, despite popular belief. It's one of the big goals of this particular show is to clarify for all of you what exactly is Chess.com's computer aggregated precision score system. What is CAPS, that accuracy rating you get in your game report? What does it mean? Is it indicative of cheating? The answer is no, but we're going to get to all that. What is it indicative of? Why is it there? And how can you get the most out of it? And also, what's coming with CAPS 2, which is something we're already working on. We're going to be joined by a special guest, talk about Chess.com. Funmaster Mike, give us an update of what's going over there on the Scholastic extension that is the world's largest chess community here. Give you a quick preview of our upcoming events with one very special announcement in case you missed it. Then the Q&A, and as we said, final thoughts. So without any further ado, like all of you, just reading the run of show and script, and let's jump in. Here we go. Time to review Q2, starting with April. So, and like I said, we'll see all of you. Please continue to keep good questions for the Q&A, or don't be upset if we don't get to it. But so one of the big things that we did in April, Q2, for a lot of newcomers to the site, we changed the landing. And a lot of this is not really related to probably any of you watching this show, to be honest. But given the way that a lot of people were coming to Chess.com, it didn't always feel clear to them how friendly it was, how easy it was to start a game. We made it very easy to do so, and we're actually working super hard on guest play as we speak. So for those of you that have for long wanted to just play a couple quick games on Chess.com, whether that's the website or the app, without having to log in. And not to say you don't have a login, and when you're playing your serious games, you do. But sometimes people just want to kind of mess around a little bit. And even for newcomers who come here, it's been a long asked for request. And given the amount of just kind of bounce around traffic that our domain name gets, it's always been a curiosity for us. But we have fully committed, and very, very soon you will have guest play, whether you are a regular member who just wants to use an anonymous account for a while, or a brand new person who isn't watching this show yet, but will soon be able to discover chess. They just don't know who they are yet, right? Let's see, we launched some more emotes and improved some of that as far as the functionality and things. A lot of you guys chatting away in Chess TV right now. I see you, Blue Jay Chess, rocking it. I see everyone else. You've got your emotes that you can use, trying to continue to be on par with a lot of the other major chat services around the world. One thing that's super cool, and you may not know we did, was we launched this download results thing for a tournament. So now any tournament, obviously Title Tuesday, now the SCC Grand Prix is a big one. But you can download the results for a tournament that you've played in or that others did. If you missed it, you can now do that. So let's see. We made some Apple Watch improvements. I don't have an Apple Watch, can't afford one. If you guys know, can tell me whether it's cool or not, I'd really like to live vicariously through you. So for all those of you who have an Apple Watch and Chess.com or any chat, please let us know. I'm watching, I'm waiting. Is it cool? Like, is the watch really cool, guys? Okay, thanks. Thanks for telling me. Okay, good talk. All right, jokes aside, we continue to roll on, and then at the end of every report, we have some updates. We released some bug fixes after the massive launch that was to Android that brought you Puzzle Rush, Puzzle Battles, all the things that Android was missing for so long. Chess TV, there were so many things that Android was behind the iOS app, and we appreciate all of our Android users for being patient with us. But then in May, so this is a little bit jumping ahead with April, but in May we also launched a bunch of huge improvements. So it's funny how every time we review these stats, I realize just how outdated some of our fair play stuff is on our other shows. Because if you look at the amount of games we're reviewing, that's 102 million games. We are also now at 17 full-time Fair Play members, and I feel like we just updated it to 15. So we've got a lot of work going on there, reviewing so many games with more games being played, and there you go. We closed 39 titled players in the month of April. That's big time, and those are all the things that we did as far as the support stuff. These articles, by the way, are often some of our most engaged with comments-wise. And I want to just bring up that if you are leaving comments saying thank yous to features that came, also, adding concerns and questions. And I see some people carried on the anti-cheat discussion and brought up my last state of Chess.com where I dove into stuff. I want you to know that we really do look into the article comments, especially for these product updates as I move to May. So please continue to leave them. When you leave requests and things like that, we do pay attention to it. So here we go with May. That's a good question, noodle mixing sound. The Game Explorer in general is getting a lot of reworking anyway. It's a part of some bigger features we're bringing that are going to be maybe bigger and badder, more robust tools. So bringing it to mobile hasn't really been the priority for Explorer. It's been more focused on improving and really giving that tool the love it deserves. Because chess openings and preparation and saving your games and analysis is a big part of what people do. And we're working pretty hard on our own tool there. I almost want to talk about it and say the name, but I'm still forbidden. But we're getting close to it. So here we go. We have... Sorry if I get quiet there. Just turning and checking on all of you chatters. I see you on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere. But anyway, thanks again, and thanks for keeping your questions for the Q&A portion if you have them. So let's see. May, we talked about this. We talked about Puzzles Learning Mode. We've talked about these things before. If you don't know that you can do this currently in Puzzles Learning Mode, obviously something you should do. We might need to rename some of those to be more appropriate to XQC's names, like Alekine's gun is called the triple stack, right? So we'll work on making that XQC-able. But overall, if you didn't know that you can do themes in puzzle mode, you should. So this is a big one. And we're going to circle back to this when I go full screen mode and talk about caps. For someone remind me, we've got the month of May talking about the fact that you can now save analysis, and you already have your own kind of little library of saved analysis possibilities. I showed this the other day on my own channel after a lesson with Haftor Julius preparing for PogChamps, the world's strongest man, and I showed that I could save all the things we did. So I'm going to circle back to this. I think for a lot of people watching this show, this is going to be super insightful. It's not directly comparable to Lichess Studies. I know a lot of people use Lichess Studies. There are other sites that have this, but we're building some tools that I think are super insightful and maybe have a lot more organizational tools than you already realize for all of your games played on Chess.com and everywhere else. So remind me, I'm going to circle back to that. By the way, we are honoring Voyboy's comment to improve this gray shield to be pink. Because pink or yellow, I don't know what color Eric ultimately decided on, but we're working on it. Okay, so it's going to be fun. If you didn't know, you can now actually also subscribe for Chess TV email notifications. This is the big one I want to shout out because by definition, if you're watching Chess TV here today, you might care about this. So, did you know that you could do that? Did you know that below the Chess TV player, you have the ability to subscribe for notifications? You can also do it in settings, in your main Chess.com settings. So please do that. If you're watching this show, that might be something you care about. And Chess TV itself is a portal that kind of brings a lot of streamers together. And what we've learned is that we have this huge community, and not everybody who likes Chess TV or the occasional chess streaming follows those channels individually on Twitch. So for those watching this on Twitch or YouTube or Chess TV, you already know, we obviously have had a very rapidly growing chess streaming community over the last few years with our partnership with Twitch. It's been awesome. And a lot of you might follow individual channels like Botez or Hikaru or the Chess Bras or whoever. But for some people, they really just would like to actually follow people when they're on Chess TV, and that's the kind of content they want to engage with. They prefer the Chess TV experience. So you can now subscribe whenever Chess TV is live, and you should consider doing that. So there you go. Big news is that we brought Dr. Wolf to Android in May. Those of you who watch a lot of our shows know this is already a big thing. I'm not going to turn this into a Dr. Wolf sort of, sponsored segment, but it is pretty ridiculously awesome. There's a reason we acquired that technology. Huge shout out to the guy behind that, our man David, who works super hard and is working super hard with our team in a lot of other areas where we can bring insights and intuitive pattern recognition. It's like our game report on steroids coming in the future to really give you stuff that is going to give you some awesome takeaways. And it's, we've talked about it for a long time. It's kind of the holy grail of chess, allowing real-time instant feedback from AI, from computers, to be like a human coach would give you, right? It's very difficult to do, but I think the Dr. Wolf app for beginner players has done it better than anything ever. And Eric and I, particularly, speaking on behalf of my CEO and myself, we've heard a lot of presentations of companies over the years. It's pretty awesome. So if you are 0 up to 1400 and don't have this app, you're legit missing out. So there you go. More fair play problems, right? More games, mo Cheetos, as they say. Mo Cheetos. This Cheaters segment now brought to you by Cheetos. Mo Cheetos. Try to say Mo Cheaters 5 times fast. Mo Cheaters, Mo Cheetos. I can't do it. All right. Cool stuff. And again, lots of comments in these articles. We do read them. We do appreciate the feedback. Junetown. Population us. Right? Seems like it was just yesterday. Honestly, it really doesn't. Seems like it was a really long time ago. Okay, so we added some new achievements, some new awards. When we first launched these, they were kind of all over the map, and we're trying to consolidate, the way we give achievements and remind people of the cool things they're doing. And we hope to continue to make that better, just make it more fun for everyone to be tracking their experience and getting rewarded for it as you achieve certain milestones. This is not going to be a part of this update or even the next one, July. But in Q3, State of Chess.com, look for a big update right here on our new lessons interface. It's already out for staff. We've been working really hard on our lessons, which are already, unfortunately, maybe if you're watching this, you don't know. I mean, a lot of people do. We know a lot of people use them, but they're awesome if you didn't know. And you can watch a video and then you get real-time quiz questions to follow up with. But unfortunately, for a while, maybe they weren't even as enjoyable and immediately as fun as they could have been. So that's been a lot of what we're working on because we believe in the tool so much from like a learning recognition standpoint, like watching a video, getting real-time opportunity to answer quiz questions about whether you've retained the information is pretty awesome. Thank you, Decelerated Dragon. Lessons are great. So they are awesome, and the new interface is just going to make it even more rewarding, even more fun, and so therefore more motivating. And that's not us like trying to wrap a pink ribbon around an elephant, right? We know chess is hard. Sorry, took a sip of water there. We know chess is hard, and we know that getting better takes work. So there's no way around that if you're really a motivated learner. But that doesn't mean that it also can't be cognizant of the experience and make it enjoyable and a little more motivating. And that's really what we try to do with lessons. And so, yeah. Oh man, pink elephant cookies made in China. Oh my God, I love those ones. The one with the frosting on them. The circus cookies. Is that what you're talking about? OMGs or snaps. Yeah. Okay, what else do we have here, everybody? We've got, so we added the openings tab to analysis. And again, a lot of these features are going to be wrapped in what the new analysis experience is that's coming. And I'm going to touch base a little bit on that when we go full screen mode and talk about caps and some stuff. But working on that all the time. Um, I don't know if you know this. You can actually instantly access an opening explorer like reference even if you're watching games in live chess. And we're working on kind of making that all super integrated, so just easier and better. Hoping that quarter three has a lot of showing you guys what we've been doing behind the scenes. So some other big stuff, right? Adding some languages. We've been doing lots of work on the new consolidated play page. A lot of you, if you hold your mouse in the nav right now under play, you already know that play is live and it's in beta, right? So that means that we're aware it's not perfect. It doesn't have all the features yet from the old live chess, and we're working on it. But there's a lot of cool things about the future of the play page that we like. I'm already using it more and more, and I'm a power user, and I think that pretty soon we're going to see more and more people using it. In PogChamps, a lot of people actually use play rather than live. A lot of the new members are already using play, and you didn't even know there was live, which is cool. And so a lot of things coming with that, and I'll just leave it at that. But I think that the play page will be huge in the future. I don't know if you saw this. Has everyone seen the Automate tool? So my list is growing here of things I need to mention when we go full screen. 1 second. Yeah, Automate is a ton of fun. I might play Automate against one of you to bring this show to a close. So what do we have? We have analysis saved for notes. We have, what else was it I wanted to talk about? I guess maybe the openings tab in general. Yeah. Openings. And then we talked about, automate. Automate. There we go. Cool. Yeah, Automate's actually a lot of fun. Yeah, you probably don't even know it. If you go under play, it's there, and it's a cool game to play. You basically get to build your own chess army and see how the engines would use it at the highest levels, and kind of it's like it's almost like robotics. Right? Like all the kids who build like the robots that go places and pick up stuff and run obstacle courses. That's kind of how it feels. Anyway, Puzzle Rush GIF, right? That's cool. Didn't even know we had that. I don't even know what that is. What is that? Is that just like something we did for sex appeal in this article? What does that actually do? Oh, members who upgrade during an activity of Chess TV are now returned to that activity afterward. That's cool. Interesting. I didn't know that. But that's also a really cool Puzzle Rush GIF there. All right. We did some visual improvements and making it easier to see where you stand in some of the tournaments and experiences there. Always working on stuff like that. Some Android pushes that helped. iOS finally got our new logo. For those of you that have been members for a long time, you know that our pawn logo is a little bit fatter than it used to be. We actually need to update that on the Chess.com show. Look at that. Right? That's a good note for future. But our new pawn is a little bit more, it's not fatter, excuse me, it's grabbable. It's a little more iconable, like online. Just slight adjustments. These are things that, we make the big bucks for, to make decisions on how pawns should be shaped. Anyway. All right. Fair play again. Look at this. Look at this. 124,000 games reviewed. That's a lot. 5 million accounts, 16.8 closures, 24 title players. That's good. Coming down a little bit. That's nice. Probably because we're closing so many of them. So eventually we'll close them all, right? Like Pokemon. Closing title players for cheaters is like catching all the Pokemon. You got to catch them all. And there we go. There we go. Good stuff. Again, a lot of comments. This one, 82. So you guys are definitely engaging with this content. We appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys enjoy our updates. So our last one here is a part of quarter two that we did 4 months here. So I know that officially April is, April, May, June is actually supposed to be quarter two. So July we're kind of touching in on quarter three here, which I'm going to do anyway because we're already here, right? It's a month overdue, so we'll talk about this. This will be a small preview. Maybe we'll start at this again and mention anything I missed when we do the quarter three state at Chess.com. So we added book awards for you when you play new openings. Kind of fun for those who track that stuff and like to know the different opening repertoires they're playing. It's also subtly just a call to action to learn the opening, right? To improve it and get better, right? We added, that was a misclick. We added some commands for Club and Chess TV chat. One of the things we're going to talk about in quarter 3 is all the different things we've done for streamers. I'm not going to get into that here, but we've added some new ways to give exposure to all the streamers, and you may notice some different panels on the homepage. If you're actually using chess.com/today, the main page on the right side, we see that recently made some improvements and tweaks to that, even shows their view account. So continue to try to do things to improve exposure for all the people that stream for chess.com. A big one that we launched, and this has been on iOS for a while, but it's a huge one here, and we see it being used all the time, especially by some of the PogChamp streamers, people just wanting to run game reports and then see what the key moments were. This is an awesome feature. It's if you haven't used it yet, definitely should. You basically get guided. So rather than getting all the information that was there before, the information was already there in our game report. But this has sort of like represented it and organized it in a way that is super intuitive for you to go through a game and just quickly see what the critical moments were. And so it takes you to kind of when the game left book, like when a move that was made that was a game changer in terms of the way that that you handled a position or the way that you could have, in the sense that the evaluation swung big time, so you're able to go to that critical moment and see what you didn't understand or what you did understand that your opponent didn't. So the key moments thing is kind of cool. I'm actually really curious what the feedback is on that. I'll probably scroll through the comments in this article when we're done here. Because it is a little bit of a different presentation to a tool that we've had for a while, and maybe for some of you it was a little jarring, maybe for others it wasn't. But yeah, we'll get into it. Thank you, Anuj. That's why we do these streams. Anuj on YouTube says he loves these because it's a lot of information regarding the site that you don't know. That's right. That's exactly why we do it. So we are glad that you are here and checking that out. 1 second, making some notes. You hear me writing? I don't know if you can hear me writing on the mic. That's super cool if you can. Cool. All right, this is a cool one. So this was showing our new theater mode. I actually featured this today on my stream. So watch what that mouse does. We'll watch it a couple times. It goes up and clicks on the theater mode button if you're using play, which makes the board bigger, the icons bigger, right? And centralizes the time. I won't be surprised if we start seeing some streamers use that as like their default capture. One of the issues I experienced, counter effect, is it made the board big, and that actually slowed me down in bullet. Now, it's not like I need excuses to lose on time in bullet. I lose on time in bullet in almost every game. But the slightly larger board, you always hear those bullet meta theories, right? You want a smaller board so that your mouse has it physically has less time to travel in the interface, right? But at this point, I don't believe my bullet strength is strong enough to excuse that, and theater mode overall is just awesome, visual eye candy. And there you go. So if you're not using, that's not true, cigar smoke rings. Not sure if I can say that. This show does not endorse any form of tobacco product. The RAP bullet brawls. I did a mini bullet brawl today. I lost every game. Yeah, that is the Danny Rensch gambit. Use theater mode and lose on time and bullet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Indeed. So anyway, but theater mode is actually super cool. If you haven't used it, it's a fun way to play. And for streamers who may not know that, some of you streamers watch this show. Maybe you didn't know it either, but it's actually cool. All right, and more sportsmanship. But look at that. If I'm not doing my math wrong, I feel like with every report, I don't always pay attention to these. I get reports from our head of fair play and cheat detection. Shout out to Gerard, the man himself, working super hard, leading the crew. But I don't always pay attention. Honestly, did I just say that out loud? I'm not always paying attention. But if I'm doing the math, I think that we actually closed less cheaters with every month. 39. Right, 24. Pretty sure this one also had 24. Indeed. And then here we had 14. So look at that. So for those of you who don't say we're winning the fight, that's going to be a fun topic for our next one. And there's a lot. Chess.com lives on the front line of everybody criticizing our processes about everything, and we appreciate that. In general, I mean, jokes aside, it's our responsibility, and as a market leader, it's our job to hear that feedback and to make decisions and assess and review and take action with it. But we have our own theory in terms of what we're trying to do in regards to the overall battle against fair play, or for fair play against cheating. And, those who are the loudest sometimes and are not maybe the most astute observers of the actions we've taken, the amount of grandmasters and people we've closed, those who follow events might notice and see people that aren't playing, or people that, activity that has changed. And it's not our job to, first of all, on a moral level, I believe in second chances. So you call me crazy, naive, and living in a sky pie, whatever you want to call it. It's never been in our interest to publicly shame or scarlet letter people. We act and basically protect the site within our legal rights. We close a lot of people, and the opportunities that we've given people to reform have actually proven very well. And our goal is that as people get closed and don't cheat, we slowly win the battle while we may lose, we slowly win the war while we sometimes maybe lose many PR battles along the way of people convincing themselves that we're not doing enough. But I stand before you and say I don't believe that to be true, and that overall the amount of people we close would not only shock you, but I think what would also shock people is the process by which we get confessions, and that we provide an opportunity for people to have second chances, as well as the automated investment we make into preventing cheaters from playing where it matters, right? Against maybe the professionals or title players where you feel like you kind of upset the integrity of the game. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to take some questions now, and we'll save some for QA when we come back. So for now, we're going to wrap up the Q2 update with me just kind of teasing that. It was nice for me to see the general direction of a trend. But we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, fair play updates. We're going to dive into caps and explain and answer some questions that I've seen as very, very commonly given to us, and maybe try to address some confusion there. And with that, continue to roll on here. The state of Chess.com continues in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Again, the state of Chess.com continues. I want to remind everybody that we're about to do a quick fair play update, elaborate a little further on what I left you with at the break, and move right into caps because it's very related to sometimes the way the general public views fair play and some of the questions that have come our way since the caps feature became a very popular part of how people view their games. So we're going to dive into this. It's going to be a little bit of a mix of fair play and caps kind of being discussed. And I just want to highlight again that if you haven't seen the previous episode that I did where a lot more heavy lifting on fair play, not exactly what we're going to do here. If any of our moderators are willing to share a link to that, it's actually the link that was being shown, the videos that were being shown in the comments section of one of the previous articles I showed. So if anyone doesn't mind maybe grabbing the links to those videos and show a little bit of what we broke into in regards to cheating at Chess.com and how we handle things. So let's go ahead and bring up just the high level view. We show this sort of take during a lot of our big cash prize events, just so you know what we're doing behind the scenes. Obviously, this is not what many of you want to see, which is our algorithm, right? Exactly what it is that we do that's the heavy lifting of the data. I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we get into caps and clarify what caps is and that it really doesn't have anything to do with our cheat detection, at least it's not in regards to the secret sauce that really makes it work that'll help. And I'm going to be naturally touching on a little bit of what we do in that process. But as we've shown, in 2020 alone, more than 500 million games reviewed. It's probably closer to 1 billion now. I mean, I just showed the 4 reports from the last few months that were all over 100 million games reviewed, and that was not including Q1. Again, we've received so many title confessions that it really helps. And believe it or not, one of the things I'm going to elaborate on here as I say things I shouldn't say on this show on a regular basis is sometimes the title confessions are not only valuable in terms of the fact that that player confessed, right? And that's nice to like have them say it, even if we closed them and knew that they were cheating. It's nice when they confess, right? But sometimes a title confession helps us get other title players that were previously like on the edge, previously sort of in the gray. And it would be arrogant and ridiculous to stand before anybody and claim that cheat detection is perfect. Not Chess.com, not any site. We've invested a ton over the years, and I think part of the reason we keep it sort of protected is both in the proprietary interest of the advancements we've made. We've been doing it longer than anybody, and we have a huge staff that works on it, but also in the interest of not giving title players the opportunity to know maybe the few gray areas where a very strong grandmaster might cheat and be able to get away with it for longer than we would like, right? It's ridiculous to ever say that we're closing people the moment we think they're cheating. We close them when we know they're cheating. And the letter that we have from Harvard, which that would have been a good thing to bring up. Maybe in a future show, I will show you the letter we have from an audit of a statistician from Harvard, actually says as much, that Chess.com's cheat detection leans on the conservative side by design, in the sense that sometimes when the wolves are crying, they're not wrong. A lot of times they are. But sometimes they're not wrong, but they're not in our position in terms of being able to make a closure and then stand behind it in a court of law. Right? And a lot of the probability measurements are not based on anomalies. We can't measure the neos, as the architect would say. That was a sick Matrix reference right there, right? And we're not trying to catch the neos. We're trying to act within a probability range that we would win beyond reasonable doubt. And yes, and again, I talk a lot about the advanced metrics here because I think it's what most of the community watching this wants to know, is like the title player cheaters and the rumors and this and that. You know, we're also closing like thousands of counts a day, preventing them. I just ended my stream coaching Wagamama TV, who's a Dota player, and he asked how we handle smurfing, whether it's seen as cheating or unethical in the chess community. And I told him that as long as it's public, sometimes it's used as content and streamers like to do speed runs, it's actually okay in chess. But unethical multi-accounting or cheating and smurfing is not something we're okay with. And in fact, it's led to a lot of closure of clean title players where they just decide to make an anonymous account and then smurf for a day and they get closed. And then they yell at us like, do you not know who I am? And we're like, actually, we didn't know who you were. And you're welcome for preventing someone who normally would be a cheater from getting all the way to the top because you didn't let us know who you were, right? So that's, anyway, just a funny, digression about Wagamama. But I see a lot of the chat comments, and I know there's rumors and things like that. But the main thing I was trying to sort of impart with what I said at the end is title closures have been really high during the pandemic and the increased traffic because we've increased cash money opportunities. And so people have maybe just, let the worst of their morals stand. But it's also becoming less and less over time. We are closing more and more of them, and they can go play on other sites. And the strong title players who maybe were playing regularly in cash events and get closed, the astute observers know that. But also, it's not our job to scarlet letter or shame people. These are people who've worked super hard in general to build livelihoods around chess. And mistakes that are made when they think they could get away with it, while inexcusable, are sometimes forgivable if someone is honest and understands that maybe we were able to catch them in ways that they didn't think we could. And that's kind of a lot of what we do. The heavy lifting for those who speak stats will be able to discern some of the clues I give about what we do maybe differently than others. And a lot of that is because we do it in like a crime scene investigation DNA analysis way, meaning you don't know who someone is unless you know who they are when they're clean, right? The IOC only got ahead of blood doping when they started properly measuring people's blood and white cell count and oxygen levels when they weren't blood doping, right? And it allows you to catch anomalies faster when the patterns of who that person is changes. So part of the reason, let's bring back the slide again, that we have this absolutely massive team is because that team is investing all the time. Yeah, sorry, my fault. I confused my producer. We've got two of them, and we'll get to the proctoring one too. Part of the reason is because that team is helping us stay ahead of the curve, not just in terms of technology, but analyzing games and doing things that other people maybe don't have the resources to do. So that's what we use our advantages of being a large chess site, and we're a fortunate company. We are investing it back. That's what those people are doing, not just submitting games to handle the gray area cases, but also investing further in data sets that help us tease out information faster. And I can't say more because my team will start getting mad at me. How quickly can we tease out information, and what do we do that teases it out faster? Well, that then gets into the secret sauce. And shout out to Wagamama. Thank you, man, earlier for the raid and the great chess lesson. And he asked about chess detectives or cheat detectives, right? We do have them. And I answered your Smurf question. Not sure if you saw, Nicholas, a moment ago. But that's the stuff they're doing in addition to proctoring. Now let's bring up the proctoring slide that we were going to go to before. This is the previous one, but the proctoring. Well, I guess we've got a lot going on. Yeah, this is. I don't know which one you're showing actually, because top and bottom, very confused. Now we're all over the place. So they're also proctoring, okay? And the proctoring is the real-time stuff during events that is also being done. That's the other thing that staff is doing. As the amount of events online has increased, so has our resources and investment into that. So anyway, and so I'm again, without diving into what that secret sauce is, you can understand that from a statistical point of view, you have to be measuring not just whether you're right, but also the probability that you're wrong. And so for people getting frustrated about whether we don't act quickly enough, it's not that we don't operate. When we do operate, when we know people are cheating, we act. We can't always pull the trigger when we think someone's cheating, because we don't have that luxury. And we don't have the luxury of being loud and proud about it on social media. We have not just a massive brand and investment to protect where wrong closures aren't good. And we like to think that the very few ones that have been made were usually based, in fact, they were all based on human error in the interpretation of the data, not that the algorithm was wrong. That's the truth. And so we have made mistakes. We've actually closed 3 title players wrongly in our history. I'll admit that, right? I've talked about some different things that have happened in that process, but they were usually manual review mistakes. One really funny story of IP theft where a student got mad and impersonated a title player's account and cheated under his account. That's a really fun one, I'll tell you, in the rated R version of this show. Which was the closest we ever actually came to being sued. A lot of people threaten lawsuits and go away because they know they cheated. But one that was actually the closest, where the guy wouldn't go away, turned out he was right, that he didn't cheat, but he was wrong that his account did. It was a crazy story, soap opera stuff. But anyway, so long story short, it is an uphill battle. And there's no way, like I stand before you, not arrogance. I'm not here to claim that. We're not doing perfect analysis, right? In the gray areas that exist, there are cheaters that are getting away with it. What they don't know is how close we are to catching them. And the reason I got on this tangent is that the gray area title players who confess help us a lot, actually, even though it doesn't mean that we wait for that to help. Sometimes it's validation of looking back at results that those players had in critical moments against other people in gray areas. And that can be the tipping point that's helped us catch other cheaters. So we're closing cheaters all the time. The astute observers who really want to care and not just be jerks in chat, not saying any of you are, or jerks on social media, they know what we're doing. And honestly, I understand why people get frustrated. I get it. I'm not saying that it's not upsetting and that we don't wish more was being done. But I would argue that a lot of actual pride and actually neglect gets in the way to prevent people from cheating more than our algorithm does, in the sense that people, parents not being willing to actually look in the mirror about what their kids are doing. The amount of young kids we are closing for cheating is frankly frightening. The lack of accountability that a younger generation who's grown up with technology feels, we all know this, and I'm a dad, so I'm not going to stand before you and say I don't fight this at home, but it's a scary issue. And I think that the pride that my kid wouldn't do that is one of the most dangerous things you can ever say. And then also the neglect of what we're actually doing. If you really want to find out, there's a lot of information out there. There's an article with testimonials by top players who have signed an NDA and taken our course. The U.S. Chess Federation has fully endorsed our course, and we recently had Boyd Reed, the director of events, after an event, sign an NDA to see further under the hood of what we did and validate and confirm and agree with our closures. So it's very difficult, but it is being done. And all this is an update. I don't know how many more of these updates we have in us, because at some point someone's just going to keep recording these and put these on YouTube, and you'll just have to watch the previous shows of what I said about it. But the update at least stands that we always will go through the product update, and you see how many title players we've closed. And those are just the gray area closures. The amount of closures we're doing in the thousands to protect against the abusers is also shouldn't be underestimated. So there you go. On that note, I want to dive into a super sensitive and important topic, which is actually confusion. And this has been one thing that I do really put on us. And there's a plan coming here for an article follow-up, especially as we get close to CAPS 2, which is coming. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I can, about what the improvements are, what we've learned about how machine learning and machines approach chess, in terms of the information we can tease out, how well you play with your knights and your bishops, and some really cool stuff that can be insights for people. So CAPS 2 is going to be even better. But let's bring up CAPS and talk a little bit about it right now. We've got a full screen capture right here. For those that are with us. Again, I am reading chat. Please save your questions. If you've got some hard-hitting questions for the Q&A portion about cheat detection, other things, please save them. So we've got our accuracy percentage, and my producer's working on a little bit of a zoom in there, which is awesome. Here we go. So you can see in this particular game I lost and still had 96.2. God, story of my life. To 98.3, right? So a lot of people look at that at times, and they think that means cheating. They think that 98.3 is a game that only the world's best could play, so certainly someone who's not the world's best can't play that kind of game in a blitz game, right? So again, superficially, that type of opinion has been brought to actually a lot of us here at Chess.com, and I faced it directly because it's confusion, because we launched a product that had a score given of accuracy, right? And that the natural human thing to deter from that is, well, 100% must be perfect, right? 98% is close to perfect, right? So not untrue. But what I want to clarify is that CAPS in and of itself, first of all, when you run it, it's running on our server, and the default depth that most people get it at, which is what I just got it at, is actually running at a superficial analysis of 18 and 7 seconds at times, rather than a full report that gives you a massive amount of time. If I run this depth report right now and actually wait for 5 minutes, which very few of you do that, raise your hand, you know you're guilty, okay? It would actually change both the depth and the specific outputs here. So first thing I would challenge you to do is understand that the basic purpose of CAPS was to give you a very quick hit into the blunders made and to change something in chess that was very hard for new players to understand. This is the main message I'm trying to deliver with CAPS for team members watching, that we can cut this as a video to share. We face so many new members to the chess community with our domain name. Awesome. We're super fortunate, right? That a lot of times we underappreciate how many new people are playing chess and don't understand the chess ranking system. If I say someone is 1,600 or 2,700, they go like, out of what? 2,700 out of 3,000? Well, not exactly. It's on an ELO band, and the ELO band has a calculus that's designed to bring down the curve to prevent you from getting better than people down low. So you can't just rating farm to get over 3,000, right? That's okay. So that's one thing about ELO. Okay, so how does it work then to measure people? So what is a 2,700 then? Does that mean you're the best? Well, actually, no. People have gotten over 2,800, but eventually they're going to slow down. It's not a true indicator of Magnus Carlsen's strength that he can't reach 2,900. You know why? Because he can't gain rating points anymore from 2,600. So how good really is he, right? Oh my God, I could go on. So we try to explain to people, how good is my individual game? How did I play, right? And you can't really explain this to people with a rating system in chess, especially when it's measured and limited on the strength of your opponent. Okay, get with me. So what CAPS is a self-measurement between you and whatever engine strength you delegate. That's why I first said you can get a stronger engine if you run 3 to 5 minutes server side. But even at a superficial level, it's a pure comparison, not based on how hard your opponent's moves were to find, not based on maybe the opening that you knew was super deep, so gave you a higher score than before. Your opponent blunders all the time, which just makes it easy for you to get a higher score, right? None of that is really relevant to how well that's all like things that are outside of your control. But a CAP score is giving you a measurement of 0 to whatever engine we had. Let's say the engine is perfect, okay? How well you matched up. It's not necessarily T1 quick hit analysis, but a little bit. A blunder check, and to tell you, and again, here's where I'm getting to the score. A new player can understand, oh, it's ranked 0 to 100. That's like I got an A. Everybody in the world knows a scoring system from school. We all do. Oh, okay, that's like I got a B. That's like I got a C, right? And so what we did this as a feature, not as a cheat detection tool. We can like cap it and clip it and ship it right there to people wondering. CAPS is not Chess.com's cheat detection. 0. CAPS has 0 to do with Chess.com's cheat detection. In fact, if anybody is like thinking they're developing a cheat detection tool based on any one game approach or based on analysis that doesn't take indicators of other forms of measurement of how hard the moves were to find, they're doing something that's superficial and reckless. And if you are out there making cheat accusations based on your opponent's CAPS score, you're wrong. And it's not really fair, and it is against our bylaws. So why do we have it? Again, it was a way to help people who don't understand the chess ranking system in a snapshot view how well they played quickly in an individual game. Doesn't even have the deepest engine. It's a 0 to 100 marker that doesn't totally take into account how well your opponent played, which is what you have to do if you're evaluating whether someone cheated. And again, the ELO system is too complicated for people to understand quickly, especially the audience that we bring in with our domain name. So this is the long-winded goal of this show here, is that CAPS forevermore, as of this point, should not be considered part of your cheat detection, and do not use it to accuse people for cheat detection. Now, yes, if someone understands a little more about our algorithm, statisticians out there, I know we have very smart people in the audience, and if you aggregated a CAPS score over someone's 100 games, and over those 100 games, took into account some of the other secret things, the sauce things we do that can take into account strength and difficulty of some stuff, you might be getting closer, okay? But a lot of reckless accusations have been made, including by parents of young talented players. They know who they are. And they continue to be aggressive and accuse things and make themselves vigilante cheat detection based on information that is actually not accurate. And again, you can blame Chess.com, but why do we have the score there? Again, this is a blog that is coming when we release CAPS 2 to combine with this video. But the goal of this was to address CAPS 2 is to help people who don't understand the chess ranking system quickly how they did, and to allow people to quickly see the key moments of the game. Because what we can evaluate quickly with CAPS, even at the superficial engine, and again, remember I said if you want a deeper CAPS, run the longer one. What you can evaluate is the move evaluation swing. Someone made a move that changed the evaluation by this. We can classify that as a blunder, and it affects the CAPS score. But that is purely indicative of an individual game, not something that can ever be used in a respectful way to make cheat accusations. It's not a part of Chess.com's cheat detection, and it is mostly designed, I'm sorry if this is disappointing, to help people who don't understand the chess rating system quickly, whether they got an A or a D on their game. And that's really what it's about. It's kind of a fun tool, all right? It's not a part of our cheat detection. Danny, out. We're going to take a break. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you appreciate the mic dropping action on our Caps Riot acts because now we bring on a man who knows how to drop the mic literally. He is Funmaster Mike from Chess.com. Mike, what's up, dog?
Good to be back. This is Chess Center, right?
You know what? We need to bring back Chess Center. We get a lot
We
of
do.
those requests. That was an enjoyable time, the Chess Center world, right?
Yeah, it's back. We used to actually talk weekly because we had to record our, our,
Oh,
our segment, but
God, I miss the days when we only had 20 people in the company. That's not against anyone else, Anyway, but anyway, man. For those who don't know, I'm gonna preface and introduce Mike because a big part of what we do, we're gonna make a stateofchesskid.com a regular part of the stateofchess.com show going forward. But we've also had guests, those of you who follow the show, and so usually I kind of intro them and say that. So Mike joined the company actually over a phone call. I hired him on the phone while he was gone a hike. Where were you again?
I'm not sure. But I did a cross-country road trip after you hired me, so I guess I felt pretty good about myself. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel like you were already starting it or something. But anyway, Mike is for those who don't know, he's literally the probably the most well-known chess teacher in terms of scholastic kids on the planet. Chesskid.com, the growth has been massive, and the investment that they make into the future chess players of our world for all those of us who love and appreciate the game is amazing. And Mike is here to talk about Chess Kid. And when he first joined, it was kind of more as a semi-journalist, maybe would do some Chess Kid growth, and he's really grown into being pretty much Mr. ChessKid.com. And I can't wait I'm going to sit back and listen to the update like everybody else.
Thank you so much, Danny, and thanks for hiring me. It's been 7 years, but it feels like an eternity. Wait, no, the other way. Um, whatever way the complimentary one is. We've been really busy at Chess Kid. I remember March 13th, I was in California for a Scholastic event, and the coaches started calling me at 5 a.m. and have not let up. We've been very happy to keep chess programs going. We've had two really, really big events. One of them was in the month of July. We had the Chess Kid Youth Speed Chess Championship. Yes, we totally stole the format from the big boys at Chess.com. We had 8 of the best 10 and under players in the world play over the course of 3 consecutive weekends, kind of like, the death match style, except these are kids. So more like thumb wrestling, whatever the kid version is of a death match. Um, and we saw some pretty impressive games. And in the end, we had the Texan Ryo Chen, who is a master after only 2 years of playing chess. He ended up winning the title. Quite a bubbly kid. He actually tried to interview me after winning the title. I told him not to take my job, but that was really impressive to see Ryo Chen win. And just I don't like to do it, but just to echo Danny's thoughts a little bit, we're taking fair play a lot more seriously on Chess Kid 2. We took it seriously in this event and all future events. We recognize that a lot of really important events have switched online, even on the Chess Kid server. So we've beefed up our fair play infrastructure as well. Then this past weekend, we had what we believe to be is the largest online event for kids, like a single day event. And that was the US Chess Kid Online Elementary Championship. If you are a kid in the US and you play chess as your thing, as your little league, like Danny and I did growing up, you always look forward to the big national tournament at the end of the year. Obviously, that could not take place. So, through a great partnership with the US Chess Federation, we developed an online tournament for all kids all over the USA. 2,107 kids played this past weekend, and we crowned a bunch of national champions. We're still doing fair play review. So, if you got any parents out there who had their kid play, please be patient because we want to go over every game of all 2,100 players. So that was a smashing success. This is on the heels of us hosting the Washington State Championship online. And while we don't want the pandemic to continue, obviously, over the board chess is still real chess. We expect some other big time events to be hosted on the Chess Kid server. So that was pretty awesome to see. And then we've got another big event coming up where we're more of the sponsor. If you'll remember, Danny, when I crashed your house last year, it was because I was hosting the Junior Speed Chess Championship with
Yep.
you. Chess Kid is very happy to be signing on as the host again this year. I actually looked it up. In the 2014 Big Chess Kid event, which we used to call Conic, we had 4 future grandmasters play in that tournament. The Chess Kid Junior, sorry, the Chess.com Junior Speed Chess Championship. Of course, all the players are already grandmasters, but some of them graduated from Chess Kid, which is pretty cool to see.
we know that the JSCC is coming up again, and Chess Kid will be well, the presenting sponsor of that. And we talked about it last year, and it I feel like sometimes it just sounds like I don't know, looking for crazy stories, but it's so authentic you can't go back to it. I mean, like guys playing in the JSCC grew up on Chess Kid, right? I mean, like you talked about Jeffrey Zhang playing and winning one of the first events we did long ago, the Conic, which was the Chess Kid Online National Invitational. And so when you see a guy like that become not only one of the top juniors in the world, but on the U.S. Olympic team and just all kinds of stuff. It's crazy to see. You didn't get to the feature mention that I was kind of hoping you would. I want to get to it, Mike. The Chess Kid analysis. Can I do a little bit of a Chess Kid tutorial here?
Yeah, you sure can. I didn't want to like talk for 5 minutes and steal your thunder because it's
No,
your show. It's your show, man.
no, dude. I was enjoying it, and again, you talked about fair play. That is a big topic, and I think a lot of people appreciate our transparency when we do this show. And yeah, so those of you who followed the Chess Kid Chess Championship, you saw things that were taken and an action done live, and I won't even go into it. But also, you know that anyone who's been involved in the events that Chess Kid is running knows that we've been taking it super seriously. And it's unfortunate when you're closing kids, but in some ways they're younger and they do have an opportunity to learn the lesson and grow from it. So we're taking it super seriously over there too. Mike's partner over there at Chess Kid, Carrie, our CEO, who joined Chess.com like last year. He was a guest a while ago. He hit me up with the analysis you guys just launched, which I wanted to show because now I'm jelly. You guys have a feature that Chess.com doesn't have, which is so the analysis board is the same as anything you would see over at Chess.com. You can analyze and do things. You can actually save anything to a listed library, which you can now do at Chess.com, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that in a minute. But one of the things that Chess Kid has for a parent, so now you're getting a little bit of an insight into my kid's page. So hopefully I don't show any of my kids' real names. I don't think I do. But so this is actually my personal page, my Papa Bear page. I don't manage large clubs anymore, but I do have a few of my kids that are pretty active. My younger kids, and if I go into their new tool and I want to see some of Warner's games, I actually now have the ability as a coach to go in and instantly see his history. So I can see a quick summary of his fast games, his slow games, his games versus the computer, games against me. But also, I can click on a button and instantly take that to the analysis board where it runs a real-time game report, just like it does at Chess.com, and gives us an output analysis where I can go through the game and basically work through things like I would at Chess.com. I can add comments. I'm going to scroll through here. I can type things, add comments for my students, and at some point I can save it and then have that analysis saved for a future kind of future lesson with my kids or whatever that might look like. So I wanted to show that. I don't know if you saw at the top, Mike, there was a girl listed, Ellie. I can only say her first name. She's my niece. That kid is a future Chess Kid player.
Star. Yeah.
Just watch out.
Sounds good. Thanks for showing that. And we literally added that magnifying glass take into your kids analysis button yesterday. So there might be one or two, little things we need to work on, but shout out to Diego for doing that. It's really cool. We've also got a lot more features, a lot of show features that we didn't have before. So I'm now doing shows once or twice a week, but we've also got some young masters that are doing shows with me. So Brewington.
Yeah, let's bring up the events calendar while you talk about it. These are the upcoming Chess Kid events. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Brewmaster, Brewington Hardaway, number one 10-year-old in the country. Well, he just turned 11, but he's doing some shows with me. And I just had my very first show with National Master Alice Lee. She's pound for pound got to be the strongest player in the world. She is the gold medalist in the under 10 World Youth Championship. We tried to get her to call her show Alice in Blunderland, but she thought it might jinx her. So it's Alice's Chess Palace. She's doing shows with me, and it's so fun to do shows with these kids.
That would have been so good. Why can't these kids just embrace that we will all make blunders someday?
Yeah, you know what? It was actually her mom's idea. Then her mom talked with her and it's like, oh, I think actually my daughter thinks it might jinx her. But their first show, they always start out kind of, shy and everything, and then they come out of their shell. So
it's honestly awesome. And kids creating content is often crazy cute. That sounded like I prepared that statement, but I didn't. Anyway, man, well, this has been awesome. We'll be seeing more of Mike on Chess.com coming up soon with the Junior Speed Chess Championship. For those who don't know, we're getting into the upcoming events. Shout out. I'm going to save that for when Mike's gone. But quick preview: we have sent out the JSCC Junior Speed Chess Championship invites. Getting set for that's going to kind of really kick off the SCC season. Those are already some of the best players in the world: Ali Reza Firouzja, Jeffrey Zhang, and crazy stuff. But Chess Kid will be a part of that. Mike's going to be doing video content and joining us as a guest, so should be a lot of fun. All right, homie, I'm going to get back to doing the stateofchess.com, and I'll see you next quarter at the very least for State of Chess Kid again.
Thanks for having me. Keep up the good work. And yeah, it's going to be a huge quarter. Everybody's going back to school, except they're not. They're all going to be using Chess Kid. So I hope to have some really great features and news to report. So thanks for having me. And it's your ball game, buddy. Thanks for having me on the field.
See you, bud. All right. And that was FIDE Master, Funmaster, which is what FM stands for, Mike Klein, and with the State of Chess Kid. A lot of fun. So we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, I'm going to quickly preview upcoming events, and then we're going to roll right into Q&A. So a lot of you have been here since the caps clarity I gave. If you have, not just a troll comment, but if you have some specific questions about anything I said, I'd love to read it. We'll be following all three chats. The Chess TV, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll quickly get through all of your questions and then offer some final thoughts before we wrap up another stateofchess.com show. Apologize for fumbling on some of my words right now. This is my 8th hour of content today. But thanks for being with us. We will be back in just a few minutes. And welcome back yet again as we get into the final moments of the Quarter 2 State of Chess.com show. Thank you to everyone who's made this a part of their day and contributed with some good questions. I've got some shared here from my staff, and we're going to get into those. And I will also be watching for more good ones that come along as we answer those. But before that, as promised, quick reminder of all the upcoming events that we have going on. The ongoing and ever-evolving SCC Grand Prix gets a mention first, because it happens every Tuesday, and there are sometimes rarities where people aren't aware of it, but it's a big part of our 2020 season this year with so much chess online. The Title Tuesday is now part of the Speed Chess Championship Grand Prix, and the top 4 players in the Grand Prix will qualify their way directly into the $100,000 SCC knockout. So it's a big deal. The Grand Prix runs on. We're about halfway through, so pretty exciting to see who's kind of separating themselves from the rest of the pack. Also ongoing and ever evolving, constantly running, it seems, is the Olympia. This is a huge event, a partnership we did with FIDE a little bit earlier in the time zone than what a lot of people here might normally tune into. So you may not even been aware of it. But pretty soon we're getting into the knockout stage and then the finals, which will be the semi, the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. So, just look for even more of the biggest names playing all the time. The group stages have had teams from all over the world, which has been amazing to see the involvement. It is an event that brings people together. FIDE was really excited about the Olympiad event, and we were happy to host it. And now we're getting down to the big guns, as they say, the big countries competing for top prizes. So watch out for that. Of course, everyone is talking about our next edition of PogChamps. It was the biggest and most viewed chess event of all time, which is crazy given that it's really about a lot of people that aren't traditionally chess players. We know that our game is a lot of fun. A lot of people appreciate the benefits of chess and love it. But for a very long time, most chess events were only centered around the most elite of those players. And while we still have a lot of events that are all about the elite of the elite, like the Speed Chess Championship, like the Pro Chess League, like all kinds of things we do, including over-the-board chess coverage whenever we get back to that. But the PogChamps has been something that has been a breath of fresh air for a lot of people. If you didn't know about it, it's been crazy awesome to just see variety streamers streaming in practice, getting coaching. I did 4 hours of coaching today to Wagamama TV, who's a Dota player, Fintan Hand, who is easy with aces. He's one of the most well-known poker streamers in the world. And I believe as I speak right now, it's Hafu, who is one of the world's best Hearthstone players, very popular Hearthstone streamer, is streaming chess. Seems like she always is, so we can't wait for what happens with PogChamps 2. We're very excited about that. But most exciting is the announcement we made today. It is official. We are no longer waiting for the pandemic that has faced this earth in the year 2020 to ease up. Full disclosure, a big part of the reason we delayed the announcement and official scheduling to make what is normally our esport event, as you can see, that's a picture from last year's live final in San Francisco. The reason we waited so long is because there was still the potential discussion that we might find a way to make the live final real. We have a presenting sponsor, and a lot of the financial investment that was made by them is now going to be rolled into next year's event. There will be a live final in 2021. I'm not going to say any other details, but live esports chess will be a thing that continues to happen. If you haven't been at one of those events, you probably should be traveling across the world to experience it, because if you're a chess fan, we're doing something that's pretty awesome. And the Pro Chess League is pretty amazing. It has the world's best chess players competing on teams against each other. And the finals this year are officially going to be online. They will be September 25th through 27th. And who are the 4 teams? You just saw their logos. Now you see their names. The Armenia Eagles will take on the Chess Bras in the first round. The St. Louis Archbishops will take on the China Pandas. The St. Louis Archbishops are the defending champions, for those who don't know. And the China Pandas have been kind of the favorite to win it all for several years, it seems. Can't quite get over the hump. Armenia Eagles have also won a championship in the past. They will be taking on probably the biggest fan favorite here in the chat is definitely the Canada Chess Bras. They have a huge channel on Twitch. They are the OGs of chess streaming in many ways. And so the Chess Bras making it to the final is a huge accomplishment for them. I know that Eric and Amon and the crew are pretty pumped about it. So we didn't have it right there, but I'll say there's also a ton of money in prizes. At this point, the teams have already kind of played all the events in the Pro Chess League that didn't get them any money. Now there's real money on the line, and it matters for them to win. First place is $20,000. So at this point, they have one weekend to win $20,000. So they do want to win, and it is going to be serious chess, and look for some of the best players in the world. We briefly mentioned at the break that the Junior Speed Chess Championship invites went out. We've already gotten acceptance from pretty much everybody we've invited. We don't expect many to decline. But it's going to be an exciting event. The Junior Speed Chess Championship will kick off in September, right near the end of PogChamps. We don't have the dates exactly set, but it'll wrap up. It'll wrap up through the end of September as well. So look for the Junior Speed Chess Championship to be coming your way soon, and get excited for that. So there you go, all the upcoming events, and now it's time for your time. This is your FaceTime, your Q&A with me, where I answer your questions. I'm going to try to follow chat there. The team is working hard. Thank you to Chess.com Chris. BJH, I see you're there too, and you and I have a DM, and you're in our Slack because you're one of our very helpful moderators. So if you see a great question I missed, feel free to send it to me. I'll try to pay attention to it. But anyway, here we go. We're going to dive in. I've got some questions here. I don't have your username. I apologize for that. We gathered it, but if I see others that come in and I see your username, I will answer them. So the first question is an awesome one that I already answered, so we get to move quickly. It says, why did you not make the decision to make the PCL finals online sooner? Honestly, we were hopeful, and like many people, there's a lot of professional sports coming back. We've all been on the edge of our seat with the pandemic. I don't think anyone really knows what was going to happen, and we were still outside hopeful that maybe there would be a live final. That's why. And then once you kind of committed, which was about a month ago, maybe a month and a half, then you got to kind of get dates in line. So you're looking at events, you're looking at the process of how things are going, right? And so you can't just turn a date around the next day. So sorry that we didn't do it soon enough for you, whoever you are. No, I'm kidding. But I appreciate the question, and that's why. Next question. I was wondering why are the Arena Kings and Premium Arena events stopped happening earlier this year? So, good question. The Arena Kings has been an awesome event. It brought a lot of streamers together. We pivoted when Over the Board Chess went away, and all streamers and their cousin and their best friend's mother's uncle's lawyer, everybody started streaming chess. We kind of reallocated some of those resources, which is a fancy word for money and marketing, into some new events. We did PogChamps. We've been doing some other big events, as you've seen. We've done some more like elite events. We did the Online Nations Cup, which had a huge prize fund, and it was all 100% paid for by us, right? I mean, it was $200,000 in total, a lot of money, right? And then we did, we've got the Olympiad running now. So because Over the Board Chess went away, we felt the need to kind of serve with some opportunities for, like, make online chess feel like over the board elite chess. And I don't know. I mean, a lot of sites have done that, right? The Magnus Carlsen Tour has been amazing. You have the best players in the world playing there. It just was something that went away, I guess, because we started doing other things. I am not convinced that the Arena Kings does not come back. So that'll be my promise. That's all I can say, but that's why. When will multiple premiums be made available on mobile? That is a great question. I would love that. I think never. So here's how mobile works, right? With the mouse, you can make several in a row without disrupting it. I don't know that we have plans for the touch of the mobile, which is required to make it work, to allow you to do another one without disrupting the other. I don't know that the technology of like mobile touchpad interface is like conducive to that. But if you, people, you like that? You like that? Well, you guys think these shows are scripted? I'm honest. You requested a great feature. I'd love it. Guess what? Never going to happen. No, I'm kidding. Love ya. Bye-bye now. No, I mean, I'd love it to happen. Here's what I need everyone to do. Bother my CEO with that product request, right? I run the chess ship and the direction of the culture and the community and our content and events. He runs the features and the products. I want everyone to bother Eric. You can do that by submitting a user snap. If you hold your little mouse over that little question mark bubble in the lower left corner, hold on a second. We don't want to show private Slack. We'll go ahead and bring this up. How do you user snap on Chess.com? You hold your mouse right here where that help is. Let's see it. Here we go. Then you click make a suggestion or report a bug. If you do that, if you request it, they will come. If you build it, if you request it, features will come. Thank you, Kevin Costner and James Earl Jones, for one of the most underrated sports movies of all time. Field of Dreams, I love you. Make a suggestion via the help, report a bug, make a suggestion box, and we will hear it and we will answer the call. All right, there we go. Can you please add games with odds format for regular users? It's coming. Sooner than you think. I used to be able to wink. I had like a sexy like Vince Vaughn week. Like we're going and I can just pop one at you like, what's up, girl? Yo, what's up? Right? But then I got married and I stopped caring about whether I could look sly or suave or do things that make you seem reasonably attractive. I lost all that pride. 15 years of marriage right here. We continue. Can the website provide statistics from our game archives on results by opening? Don't we already do that? You didn't know you could do that? Oh, to the feature room. To the Batcave we go. To the feature room. Let's do it. Did you not know that you can go to Learn, Explorer? I guess the screen cap's a little up, but we go Learn. Okay, I'll do that again. Learn, Explorer. When you're at Explorer, I actually just showed Anish Giri this the other day. You can click instead of My Games, instead of Master Games, you can click My Games. When you search My Games, it literally tells you Danny Rensch has played E4 5,000 freaking times. That's ridiculous. How well have I scored? Let's find out. Okay. Oops, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, we have E4 now. How well have I scored against the French? Oh my God, moment of truth. Dear God, hopefully I beat the French. Okay, D4. I've scored 57% against the French. D5. Knight C3. Bishop B4 against the winnower. E5. C5. A3. My percentage is getting better as we get into main lines. Look at that. Guess who's got good main line prep? Yo, this guy. 62%. Coming at ya. Did you not know that you can use the Opening Explorer? That's what I just showed you. Go to Openings. Again, one more time. We go to Learn. We go to Learn, Explorer, change it to Your Games. You can also search your games specifically by the type. You can also search your games. I want to see against... Oh, no, you can also search for other players. Did you know you could do prep? Let's find out. Let's find out what GM Hess does as black. Haha! GM Hess as black. He has faced E4 many times. How well has he done? Wow, Robert plays G6 more than any other opening? God, no wonder his openings suck. When is someone going to talk to Robert Hess about how bad his freaking openings are? Wait, but how does he do against my system? This bishop G5 stuff. I'm prepping for Robert. He plays C6. Okay, he knows what he's doing. Queen D2. B5. He actually does pretty well in this line. Okay, so there you go. You go there, you search other players' games Robert has, you can find their games, and at any moment when you want to view all the games from the current position, or look at this, you want to view all of Robert's 2 games against it, click on the number 2. I shallst be taken to a page that has those 2 games that Robert played. Did you learn something? Did you learn something about Chess.com today? Yeah, boys and girls. All right. What's the next one? I hope the person who asked that question actually knows I literally just answered it. Okay. Can there be more settings for Puzzle Battle? 5 minutes, 1 minute in length. That's a good question. In fact, we recently experienced a massive bump to Puzzle Battle games Puzzle Battle sessions finish. You know why? We launched it on iOS. It's not on Android. 24% more Puzzle Battles being played on a daily basis. The reason you don't split the server usage, by the way, is because it becomes a self-fulfilling like bad cycle. So like if we have too many time controls, now everyone's searching different time controls and it fractures the player base so that people don't get a game as fast as they would like. So people who wonder like, why is that not a no-brainer? The reason is Puzzle Battles is still new enough. We're trying to give it enough traction that that you can't just split the pools early. So the way I would answer that is tell all your friends about Puzzle Battle, get them playing Puzzle Battle, and the moment we hit certain trajectories, we will add more time controls to Puzzle Battle. Well, there you go. What's the deal with the recent server crashes, server space? Speaking of server stuff. So, very simple, and I think I said it before. The bottom line is, you know, we've experienced a ton of growth like all online chess has, and for us it's been massive, and we didn't scale properly. So a blunder that probably could have been prevented by purchasing, you know, a couple $100,000 server a couple months ago, adding more space, preparing to scale properly is a big part of our blunder there. That's not making excuses for me or the dev team or anything. We work super hard and no one has taken it more personally than our live server developers as far as being as far as being, humiliated by that. And we worked, it was very difficult. I mean, we literally took a pie in the face multiple times every day for like a week. And so the way a lot of like the way a lot of servers can work is they're kind of set up to like reach certain limits. If you reach certain capacity, they crash. Almost like a GFI switch in your bathroom. If it gets water on it, it trips, so you don't electrocute yourself. The problem is that if you're not scaling properly with like the way you've anticipated your cloud storage, then what ends up happening is you're sort of tripping yourself up all the time. And again, I'm not a scientist, nor am I a live server developer. I'm not fully qualified to speak on the tech, but I know that we blundered, we made some mistakes, we didn't properly scale and anticipate growth. We paid for it, we're sorry. We did a double event to apologize for the Title Tuesday that crashed. Things seem to be back now. A lot of servers have crashed for a lot of different things over this period online. And again, that's not an excuse. It just sucks, and we're sorry. And that's one version of why it happened. And we are working on it. How are we preventing it? We are working on all kinds of new server technology. It's one of the things we're doing all the time to prevent these things, and it's a hard thing. So, first one, is there anything happening to make experience of watching top games and tournaments more user-friendly? E.g., there's no link from a game to the standings, and the chat is usually full of spam, making it hard to actually discuss chess. First of all, I agree with you 100%. We are building this. It will come. We put the stop on this when over-the-board chess went away. We are building a full live viewer experience that will be completely separate of the live server that you currently watch things on, and it will be robust and awesome and directly dedicated a server just for relayed games, from whether it's other sites or over-the-board events with more stability, better options. We're building it. Right now, everything in Chess.com that has existed has been just like thrown into the live server. And then we wonder why they crash. And we're like, take the live events and take the lessons and take all the variants and don't do anything else. Put it on the live server. And they've been like, well, we can't keep adding things. We need more places. So we're building separate servers for play. Chess.com/play. Check it out. It's in beta. Chess.com/analysis will be the future of where you do live lessons if you're a coach out there. Out of the live server. Just chess.com/analysis with real-time shared studies and a library you can save. Chess.com/variants. Variants will have their own. Chess.com's events will have their own server. We're gonna get better, and live server won't just be like this thing we just throw crap at anymore. We're doing it. Thank you. I have a question about cheating. I have played several games where I highly suspected cheating from a player well beyond his rating. I reported them, but I never hear anything back. What do I do when I suspect cheating? Will I get flagged for reporting cheating? Sorry for the dubbing. You will not get flagged for reporting cheating, and I'm very sorry for making fun of that. Let's go back to the full screen analysis, shallst we? To report any user for cheating. Oh my God, I'm actually revealing a title player that was closed for cheating right on the screen. That's not supposed to be there. Get out. That's not supposed to, because I found a bug. If you search through games in the archive of the Explorer, it still shows the close for fair play. Bug on air. Let's move on. Here we go. Woo! Okay, you can, oh my God, I'm still showing it. I clicked on the wrong game. Here's how you can report somebody for cheating. You click on their name and you click this button right here. It's called report. And when you click on it, you can report them for anything: verbal abuse, racism, stalling, cheating. You will not get reported. Now, what I did say earlier about caps was true to that question. If you verbally abuse people for cheating, if you spam their chat, if you send private messages, there are people that are on the verge of having their chatting abilities taken away that are title players on my site because they won't stop doing it despite my warnings. We try to be lenient. But if you act on your worst part of your emotions, we've all been there. Hashtag guilty. Okay, I'm not judging you. But if you spam, verbally abuse, send messages, and chat and abuse people that they're cheating, yes, you will get reported, and you will be the one who's muted, even if you were right, because it's against the site bylaws, and you're abusing people. Let's bring it back up. You know what you're doing there? You're verbally abusing people, okay? But if you use our cheat tool, and again, I'm going to show it, you click on any username anywhere in the site, and you can report them for cheating. Whether it's in the live server, in the play server, you can report them for cheating. I'll go there right now. Live server. I observed this game. I observed some random game. Let me bring it up. Oh, all my analysis boards came up. That's adorable. I observed this game, and I think that this guy's cheating. I don't actually think this guy's cheating, by the way, but I click on him and I click report, and I can report him for anything. Any of you can do this at any time, and I strongly encourage you to give us feedback on your experience and whether you feel like users are being abusive. Cool, good stuff. Let's do it. I don't mean to have a tone like I'm being abrasive with the chat. I feel like I really do enjoy this. And I think that a lot of you guys are actually getting information you didn't have. Can I get a show of hands? Seriously. Seriously. So I'm actually just having fun with you. This is like an AMA session, and this is transparent Dan here. Just letting the guard down and answering how it really is. Okay? So just giving you high fives, and I think you guys have seen some features you didn't know existed. But I'm also being honest, right? And if you guys should be aware of these tools, and that's why we're doing it. You will not get flagged to report people from cheating. Just do not verbally abuse them with chat or messages of any kind, and do not report their usernames in any sort of public forum or otherwise visibly commentable place where you can be accused of harassment. Don't do it. Report them. What are you doing to catch bots and stop people from manipulating their rating by using them? I played someone the other day who was rated 300 but played like a 1500 and found they were losing games against bots and literally had bot in their name. Reported it, but they still seem to be there. That's actually a bot. This is the old saying, that's a feature, not a bug. To the Batcave we go back. Let me show you. This is who you were playing. You were playing probably Juan bot. Maybe you played Martin bot. Maybe you played Wayne bot. Probably you were playing Fabian bot. These ratings are actually real based on the strength of their opponents, okay? So Fabian bot has that result based on his win-loss, and he can drop to 300 on a given day. He can actually, there is a Danny bot. Someone said, where's Danny bot? It's right there. Danny bot's 2386, which is probably roughly about where I'm at on a FIDE strength level. That's lower rated than my actual rating. Screw you, Danny bot. Sorry, can I say that? And then you've got Komodo Boss. We are working on a brand new feature. What?
Idea?
Yeah,
Danny versus Danny bot?
Danny versus Danny bot, it's happening. That's like a freaking like anime movie. Danny versus Danny bot. Okay, let's go back to the Batcave. Danny bot. Danny bot is kind of a jerk. And so here's, I'm going to answer a question right now. This is awesome. This is actually real feature reveal. Why is Hikaru bot lower rated than Danny bot? You ready for the real answer? This is going to be fun. You ready? We catch a ton of people who are cheaters playing against the bots. Now, a lot of them get safe warnings because they actually think, oh, I thought I was playing a bot. I thought I was allowed to use an engine. And they literally tell our support team that. It's totally innocent. We clarify and they move on. But we get a lot of people who we find out they played and cheated against Hikaru bot and they beat Hikaru bot. He's just a Hikaru bot. You can use the stockfish, whatever, and beat him. And then that gives us a clue that that person is a cheater. We look at their profile, run a report, cheat detectives, being strong. They say, guess who's a cheater? And guess who tipped us off because he beat Hikaru bot? That guy. Okay? So we do not use the bots as cheat bait. The reason why their ratings are lower is because people cheat against them. So what this actually says is that more people, for whatever reason, are cheating against Hikaru bot than Danny bot. That's literally all it says. Is it because more people like me? I didn't say it. The cheaters did. No, I'm kidding. Hikaru. No, I actually think more people want to beat Hikaru bot. No, I'm kidding. Everyone loves Hikaru. Just look at his stream. But the reason why that happens is because people cheat against our bots. They get ratings that are based on real-time competition. It's like a user. They go up and down with rating. And so if someone abuses them and cheats, guess what happens? They lose rating points. And that's what happens. Friday night on Chess.com, the truth comes out, baby girl. This has probably been the greatest show we've ever done. This is the honest stuff. This is what happens. So that's why Hikaru bot's losing. So anyway, that is, first of all, the best message of all time from someone who said they literally were playing a bot. It's so funny. And I'm not trying to make fun of that user. You literally are like a lot of people. You know what? You passed the test, whoever gave that question, because you reported them instead of cheating against them. We have a lot of people who cheat, beat them, lose the ratings, hence the Hikaru bot, or they cheat and then they actually, some legit didn't know they weren't allowed to. So it's actually freaking hilarious. So anyway, here go the cheaters against Danny Bot. $20 says next time we do this, Danny Bot's lower rated than Hikaru Bot because now the cheaters want to do it. Okay, so we have a great question from Noodle Mixing Sound. Would Chess.com consider a crowdsourced prize pool like Dota? Yeah! They give incentives for more people to buy a suite of things like emotes, badges, fantasy draft predictions, etc. Quickly raise prize pool from 1M to 35M. That's 1 million to 35 million over. Holy crap, why aren't we doing this? Can we just, like, instead of raising a crowdsourced prize fund, can we raise a crowdsourced Danny retire fund? If we could raise 35 or even 1 million, I'd retire. Then you guys would be rid of me. I mean, can we have a crowdsourced fund there? Anyway, that sounds like a fantastic idea. I don't know a lot how that works. And I think that, you know, again, being totally clear here as we move into our final thoughts of the show, we've got, you know, Chess.com is the biggest chess company in the world, right? Not just website online, but, you know, biggest company really. And obviously the company is doing well. You know, we're hiring all the time, we're investing, and we're doing what we can to grow the game and make it enjoyable for our users. And so it would be odd for us to look for the community to pay for things, wouldn't it? And I'm actually legit asking if you think that the optics wouldn't be that way. But we've been worried about negative blowback on. So we've done mini events where like people can donate to the prize funds that like the streamers can win, right? Or people can donate between the grudge match we did of like, you know, John Bartholomew versus Lawrence Trent, and all that money goes to them. Chess.com isn't taking a cut. But don't you think that would look kind of crappy on us as like a company that's doing well to rely on a crowdsourced prize fund? And if I'm wrong, maybe, I mean, obviously we're not a company doing well enough for a $1 million prize fund, let alone 35 million. So if there's a legit opportunity there and the community would be open to it, this is me, you know, putting it out there, right? Wearing it, facing the music. So if you guys legit think that that's something we should consider, then we should do it. Because if people would donate, because all the prize money would go to the players, I guess, right? So why not do like a $1 million goal, crowdsourced prize fund? Magnus might even play. We might be able to afford Magnus's appearance fee. You know, he's going to ask for it. Maybe that's, I mean, no jokes, right? And I'm just teasing Magnus, but the truth is, like, if we had a $1 million prize fund, I think it would be a lot of fun, right? Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do that. Okay. Well, I will take that under consideration. That's funny, Tayeb. And give a huge shout out to everybody that's here and listening and tuning in. You guys will see this VOD later in full on YouTube. Some of you might be watching it there. Probably some of the segments will be cut up. Hope you appreciate the discussion on fair play and caps, as well as the Chess Kid State of the Union address. And seriously, even if you are not a chess kid, it's great for kids. So if you're a dad, an uncle, whatever, again, there's no sometimes we've been doing it so long, Mike and I forget to just highlight the basic benefits. There's no social networking. There's also no UGC, which is user-generated content, which means on Chess.com, as many of you know, someone can upload a pornographic avatar. We remove it, we ban them, but it can happen, right? Because we're a huge site and a large social media network. On ChessKid, that doesn't happen. Your kids are safe. There's no social contact with outside users that are not approved by you, their guardian. So there's a lot of simple things about ChessKid that if you didn't know why it's there and why you should use it, thanks, Mike. Then you should do it. You should use ChessKid. So anyway, again, this is probably the greatest show that you've ever watched. I don't need to tell you. You probably said it. We will talk later. The stateofchess.com returns for a Q3 review in a few months. Otherwise, remember all the upcoming events we highlighted. I think the Olympiad is back in action tomorrow morning. For now, we're going to raid the one and only Miss Botez, who's doing some PogChamps coaching for all of these stars. And stick around. Enjoy chess on Twitch, YouTube, wherever you may be. And we will see you next time on Chess TV.